The engineer is going to give us a quick synopsis of what they'd like to do, how they'd like to assess it, what the capital improvement plans would be, and the emergency plan. And then I would like a motion to go ahead and proceed on this project. Chris.
Hi, my name is Chris Spoor. In full disclosure, Joe and I are cousins. I was previously the city engineer for Oil City for 24 years. I left there last year and started working for a consulting firm called Arcadis. I've been working there for almost a year now. You have your storage tank there that serves the area of Route 417. It serves about 270 customers. You've had some leaks in the tank, and ice formation in the tank has done some damage to the interior piping and the mixing equipment there. If the tank is out of service, the booster station can't supply fire protection for the customers, although it does supply domestic demand. These issues are causing concern to your staff, and we have been asked to provide a proposal, which I sent to Joe in December, to perform an engineering evaluation of the tank and the booster station. We'd be looking at it for one thing from a sustainability perspective. So we'd be looking at some operational changes perhaps, perhaps some low-cost maintenance items that could be performed. Also, some larger cost capital improvements, maybe looking at a 5 to 10 year period, things for you to consider to keep the system sustained and maintained in good condition for the longer term. We would also provide ballpark cost ranges for any capital improvements that we would recommend. And then the second thing would be an emergency plan. So if you need to take the tank out of service, which you've had to do in the past, this emergency plan would give you some methods to provide the fire protection in addition to domestic demand for your customers. And that could be implemented then whenever you would need to take that tank out of service temporarily. What we would do, first off, would be to hire a professional water tank inspector. We propose to use Douglas DeClerc. Mr. DeClerc is well known in this area. He's done tank inspection for the city of Oil City, city of Franklin, and both Corn Planter and Cranberry Townships. And he's been in business for over 30 years. In addition to that, he's of course done work throughout the state and in neighboring states. And he has a very good reputation in this area. I myself have worked with him the entire time I was the city engineer in Oil City. Mr. DeClerc would come in and perform a visual assessment of both the interior and exterior of the tank. He would include consideration of the sanitary, structural, safety and security, and coatings condition. He would utilize what's called an ROV, which stands for remotely operated vehicle. So it is a camera really that would go into the top of the tank through the hatch. It goes underwater, and the tank would not have to be taken out of service to perform this inspection. They would control the movement of the device within the tank to take a videotape of the interior surfaces inside the tank. He would inspect the exterior himself by climbing around on the tank, and he would photograph any areas that he felt needed to be shown to you. So then at the end, Mr. DeClerc would provide his full assessment report, and you would get a copy of that with photographs that he took of the exterior and also a videotape of the interior inspection. Arcadis would then take that report, and we'd also do a little data collection of our own. I would meet with your staff and look at any plans and maps, operation and maintenance information that would be available, and take that back then to our team of Arcadis. In addition to myself, the Arcadis team includes Jim Cooper as our technical advisor. Jim leads our water distribution systems practice for Arcadis. Other engineering support would be coming out of our Wexford office. Tom Hartwig, who is my supervisor, has over 40 years of experience with municipal engineering. And another engineer there, Jefferson Argeros, is an engineering training. Our charges would be according to our rate schedule, with a total not to exceed cost of $11,500. If you agree with the proposal, we would wait for authorization from Mr. Spohr to actually begin work, because the ROV inspection, we would want to make sure that there's no ice in the tank, and we would leave it up to your staff to let us know when they're sure that there is no ice left in the tank, and we could get that camera inside. I'll be happy to entertain any questions you may have.